So, are you? Thank you.
Gets you really G'd up. I think that music.
Yeah, it's a good song. So as you can see, Glow Guides is an 8-week transformational program, and it's very holistic. So there's 3 pillars to it: move, munch, meditate. So you get your exercise plan and yoga, you get your shopping list and meal plan, and you also get meditation. And that was really important to me to have those 3 pillars there. So it's pretty much completely holistic. That would definitely be the word that I'd use to describe it. So, Shona, should we get started with some questions?
Yes, we definitely should. Actually, but before we do, obviously you all know Maddie, Madeleine, who is a nutritional health coach, a yoga teacher, and a best-selling cookery writer. And I am Shona, as you now know, and I am a yoga teacher and personal trainer, and I'm a huge advocate of, I guess, fitness not coming at the cost of health. And that sort of really ties in with Glow Guides. So I really am big about women and men developing strength and developing skills through their strength. So instead of just focusing on fat loss and aesthetic goals, it's more about achieving things like push-ups and squats and being able to feel stronger in your body. So that was a big part of the program. But we can get started on questions. Maddie.
Yes.
Can you tell us a little bit about how you became interested in wellness itself and the wellness industry?
So for me, it was when I moved to your hometown, Sydney, Australia. I moved there when I was 18. My parents are actually from New Zealand, but I decided that's where I was going to live. I kind of left school, moved there, and ended up going to university there. And when I was living over there, I had really bad digestive problems and thought I was eating a really healthy diet, Diet Coke, low-fat yogurt, counting calories, and thought that was the right way of doing things. But I started to learn so much about nutrition there. It's kind of an amazing place. Wellness is just surrounding you. People are running at 6 a.m. in the morning along the beach. They've kind of finished their workout breakfast by 7 a.m., feeling very smug, definitely. So I really got involved in it. I actually ended up working in a cafe cooking where I met Shona. Shona was my best client. She came and ate there every day. And we just loved each other. We kind of fell in love at first sight.
Yes.
We've just got the same idea of what wellness is, I think, which is why I had to get her involved in it all. So for me, my food philosophy is about cooking from scratch, eating whole foods, and I really focus on crowding in and cutting out. For me, it's about there's so many amazing foods out there, let's get them on our plate rather than going, oh, you can't have this, you can't have that. I think Shona probably agrees with me on that.
Yeah, I think one of the best things about Madeleine, I'm sure those of you that follow her would agree, is that she's really big on education. And in my opinion, education is kind of the best motivation, because when you know what certain things are doing to your body, it motivates you to choose the right things and the things that are going to make you feel good, not just someone telling you what you can and can't do, as you said. So in the sort of food aspect, it obviously depends on what sort of exercise and training you're doing, but essentially, yeah, it's all about whole foods. Yeah. So I want to know how did the Glow Guides come about? Like, how did you kind of decide that you wanted to do it? Was it always going to be an app for you?
So it was always something I wanted to do. Obviously, there's lots of transformational programs out there. They're more in a PDF or website form. So in my head, I was like, oh, it's going to be a website. That's it. I've decided. And it wasn't until I met Disciple, who are amazing app developers. And what they do is they create fan apps. And they just showed me the most amazing technology. And I know the people who have the app can see that being in an app is so incredible. Our phones are pretty much attached to us at all times. And that's really great because it means that it's with you there. And I really want the program to be like a cheerleader that's cheering you on as you go. It's got so many amazing functions like live streaming, which we're going to do after this, so you guys have to tune in, where you literally can watch us live, ask questions, I can answer them back to you. It's got a community wall, which is just so incredible, and I'll show it to you in a second. But people are asking questions, they're interacting with each other, they're cheering each other on. There's actually a group of mums who have sort of got together and are helping each other deal with
Wake up.
the kids, handling like the meal plans, the workouts, just making sure it happens. There's students who have got together and they're, figuring out how it works with budgeting, with studying. So it's the most beautiful people have come to the app. I have to say, it's like all these angels have just kind of
Come together.
It's just so lovely to see. And then we've also had Origins, amazing skincare brand, who have helped collaborate with us, and we're going to be making some additional content within the app, all about getting beautiful, inside out, as always. So why don't I show you a little bit of the community aspect, because it is such a big part of it. And I didn't really know how it was going to go down. I didn't quite understand the beauty of it until it happened. And people do not hold back. There's been some interesting things come up, all sorts of constipation, everything. People just let it out, well, sort of. Anyway, yeah, so people obviously are showing their little coffees, they're asking questions. There's a lot of foodie pictures. So that's their lunchbox. So it really they're showing each other, what they're doing. This person, amazing, prepping their nice little balls, sharing their tea. People are good at sharing. And then...
Can we read a message? There might be something really nice in there.
Is that nice?
You've got people really motivating each other as well. So every now and then you get someone that's sort of like, oh, I really struggle waking up. Can you guys help me? I need some motivation. And then next time I log on to the app, there's like 24 comments from people saying, go for it. You can do it. Wake up. Make sure you train. We're here with you. Or I had a really tough day as well. And you take for granted how lonely it can be to just have an app, and the community aspect really makes it more about togetherness.
Definitely, and it's so nice. It kind of makes my job easier as well, so I don't have to answer the questions because other people are in there. I'm like, sweet, I'll just sit back and relax. And then I've got my own wall, just if you want to see what I'm doing. There's my face again, just in case you want to see that. There's a lot of my face in here. Trainers for training, coffee. What else do I do? Some quotes, bit of yoga, bit of food. And yeah, I take pictures, videos, all sorts of things, so you can stay tuned with everything that I'm doing. And I think another thing that we've done is sort of have, within the program, there's a huge emphasis on the food and making everything look beautiful. So I'll show you. So depending on where you started in the program, you can start at any point. But the people who started from the very beginning are currently in week 3. So we can check out what they're eating. Today is Thursday. So we can have a look at their recipes for today.
It's presented so beautifully.
So yeah, as you can see, people are eating nice, nutritious food, and it's all been photographed beautifully, and that was really important to me. I'm a very visual person. I think if you see a picture of lovely food, you instantly go, yum, I'm going to make that. So that was really important to kind of make everything look beautiful, and I think that's definitely the power of social media. I think we're so inclined to be excited about things, and I know Shona's always kind of creating these beautiful pictures of her with splits and kind of standing on one hand and all sorts of things like that, which maybe not to try at home until you've trained.
Definitely give it a go.
But it's definitely important for you, isn't it? Photographs, everything looking beautiful.
Yeah, I think social media is a really powerful aspect, and you can see the layout is very similar to some of those social media platforms because it does motivate people. I think one thing that obviously we need to be really careful of is inspiration versus aspiration. I'm always big about, and Maddie is too, is it's not about aspiring to become someone else, it's about being inspired. So those photos there are more about people inspiring each other rather than sort of feeling like you have to be someone else. You don't have to become Madeleine, and you certainly don't have to become me. It's actually about finding your own glow. And so that's we wanted to emphasize that aspect.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So should we show you a little bit of the workouts? Because that's definitely thing. So I headed up the yoga, and you can see a little bit of me in action. So we filmed it in this beautiful sort of warehouse style in Camden. So it's pretty gorgeous.
If we turn it, does it get bigger?
All right,
if we
hold
turn
on.
it.
Alrighty, week
Turn it.
2.
Oh, no.
It's very relaxed.
Yeah, starting on our backs, warm up. So coming down, starting with dessert first, right? Relaxing, feet out wide, arms face up at the ceiling, closing your eyes. Take a deep breath in.
Fast forward.
So you do a lot of relaxing.
And
It
exhale.
wasn't enough of a bit, was it?
It does get a bit faster and you get a bit sweaty too. But
Body, exhale.
people have really loved my voice. That's been a big comment of people are really enjoying me sort of telling
Very
them to
relaxing.
relax. And then there's meditations as well. So if you want to hear more of my voice, they're all just audio.
Should we tell the ice bath story?
I think we need to tell the ice bath story.
Are we allowed to tell the ice bath story? We were filming in this beautiful sort of warehouse space that was, absolutely stunning. You can see it on the videos. But because it was so intense, and anyone here that's doing the workouts, done the workouts, they're really intense. And so we were filming them all real time, and sometimes we'd film like 3 or 4 back to back. And at the end of the day, we thought this might be a good idea to have an ice bath. Which, how many times? I did it more than you.
Yeah, I was a bit chicken. But we obviously didn't have an ice bath with us. It was a new build, so there wasn't even real bathrooms there. So we had a paddling pool, which we filled with ice. And we would jump in to this paddling pool of ice. And it didn't have any heating, the building, because it was a new build. And then the builders who were upstairs got word of it and started lurking around the loos just in case the naked ice bath was going to go down. It was,
And it did go down. We had to have 3 women out the front, like holding the door shut, locking it, all kind of protecting us. It was, true story.
But it is holistic, for us, it's not just about achieving a certain body or look. It's about feeling strong within your body. It's about nourishing yourself. It's about reducing stress. And I think you do that in the workouts. You get that sort of motivation from both of us, hopefully, to kind of soldier on through. So we've seen a bit of the food. We've seen some of the exercise.
Yes.
We've also got some meal plans as well, which were carefully constructed to be super sustainable. So I'm really big on not wasting food. It's always really depressing at the end of the week when you kind of find that old spinach and the cucumber that's all soggy and all the bits and bobs that you really thought you were going to use, but you just didn't end up. So the meal plan has been carefully created so that you don't have any of that. You use every gram of spinach, every egg gets used. So hopefully that, it saves you money. You don't end up kind of having all this leftover wasted food. So lots of delicious things and snacks, and it's very easy to navigate your way through.
Oh, I got more questions for you.
I know.
Can I ask you more?
Why don't you?
Maddie's asked all her own questions. Now I have none left. Thanks, Maddie. Good. Maybe to ask you a private one. So we've got munch. We've done munch. We've gone through a little bit of meditate.
Yeah.
Why did you want to have meditate in there? Because it's actually it's a pillar in itself.
Yeah, I think so. I think meditation's really difficult for people. Like, every day we're trained not to sit still. It's like, it's quite difficult to be by yourself. I don't think we often do it. We have distraction of music or surrounding ourselves or talking to people. And I think meditation for me was really important because I think everyday life is really stressful. We're all working extremely hard, working longer hours. And I think that we really need to give ourselves that time just to calm down our breath. I think that a lot of people think that it's about smashing it in the gym, about cutting down your calories, but actually I think once you start to work on your stress, that's actually when the middle bit starts to go down, because most of that is cortisol. So I think that was really important, and hopefully one that people aren't skipping out. Because I know it's that thing you're like, oh, whatever, I don't need it, I'll, take a bath later, or, you kind of put it off. So we've made them quite short. You start on 3 minutes, you work your way up to 10. And of course you can do them again and again, and I hope to do more for like commuting and other aspects. But if you guys have any ideas, let me know, and I will create them for you. So yeah, it definitely was a pillar in itself.
It's a huge part. Yeah, I recommend it to my clients as well. Recovery is huge. It's not just about sort of smashing the body, and that's where the whole program is that the actual program itself, it's 8 weeks. You've got 2 workouts a week, and then you've got your yoga. The fitness aspect, so the fitness programs or training workouts, they're intense, but they're not aggressive, high-intensity workouts. So even though you do feel puffed, and like I said, the sweat is real, it's more about, as I said in the beginning, trying to help people develop the strength to be able to do a push-up, or to be able to hold a squat for a long period of time, or get down deep enough into a squat, or move better, basically. And I think we've actually, on the community, we've been seeing a lot of that, people talking about being able to do push-ups now, and that, honestly, it makes this whole program for me, is that people are now finding that strength in themselves, so that's huge.
Yeah, no, definitely. And Shona is an incredible personal trainer, the best. And that's why I had to ask her to do it. And she's got her own style of doing things, because obviously she's also a yoga teacher, has sort of been in the fitness industry since you were like a baby.
Came out straight into the gym.
That's what she does. She's just always in the gym. But, she's got her own style. So tell me a little bit about what your fitness style is, and why you designed the program in the way it is.
Yeah, so again, it's not as technically in the industry, a strength program is like using weights and heavy resistance, but you can still gain strength from just doing body weight stuff. So it's all based around compound movements. When you move your entire body, it tends to be more of a cardio workout, and it has a higher caloric demand. I'm going to get a little technical, but this program isn't about counting calories, but obviously in order to see a physical transformation, it still needs to work you, and you still need to feel your heart rate rise. But doing movements like a full push-up is not just isolating your arms with like a bicep curl or a tricep extension. It's actually working your shoulders, your core, actually all the way down into your legs. So that's really, all of the movements are pretty much full body, and that was really, really important. There's a lot. There's so much. I mean, it's such a huge app. What are your tips to kind of fit, move, munch, and meditate in this?
I think preparation is definitely key. I think people always say that to me. They're like, how can I be healthy? I don't have time. And I think you just have to make that space. Maybe it's on Sunday doing a bit of prepping, or in the morning going, okay, right, I've got to do this for lunch. Just a little bit of preparation is definitely key. I've got this philosophy of cook once, eat twice. So when you make dinner for you and for your lunch the next day, and that seems to make a huge difference for people. And they're really enjoying doing that, less washing up, all that sort of stuff. And then exercising in the morning, because when you say to yourself, oh, I'm going to do it, and then maybe someone invites you for dinner, or, you just want to catch up on Netflix or something like that, things get in the way. So I think morning, smash it out, just do it, and then it's done for the day, and you kind of feel like,
That's true.
Yeah, I'm feeling good about the day.
It's a reward for me too. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I would say, I think the main thing with this as well is also remembering that you're already, this is my favorite quote, my new quote, you're already beautiful, and you've always been beautiful, but now you're just trying to be fitter and stronger and healthier. And that's kind of the ethos of the app, isn't it?
Definitely, because I think we're so focused on comparing ourselves to other people, and it's difficult. We're always seeing images of people, and I think we're naturally inclined to do that, but I hope that Glow Guides really makes you feel confident and empowered. And that was definitely the outcome of Glow Guides, is confidence within yourself. And that's why I first said to Shona, I think that's why you wanted to get on board, because
yeah, we had this beautiful conversation. It was beautiful. We were in the gym. She was sweaty. sort of hating me a little bit because her butt was hurting. But I said to her, right, so what do you want from this program? How do you want people to feel? And she said, you know what, at the end of the day, I want women and men to feel more confident in their bodies. And it was like a light bulb moment, because it's huge. I mean, if every single app and fitness app and if the entire wellness industry was more about making people feel confident, I can tell you now that the whole population would be so much more healthy and radiant. But some of the fitness industry is more about shaming people and making them feel like they should diet or they should train because they're not worthy enough or they're not attractive enough. And for Maddie to say that, I think that's beautiful. It's coming from such a perfect and beautiful intention. So one more question then.
Yes, go.
How is this different to all the other fitness apps out there? Because there are a lot.
There are a lot. I think definitely the idea of it being holistic. I think also it being in an app form, you can stream this on your laptop, on your Apple TV. You can watch it through all your different portable devices, so it's with you at all times. And I think the community as well, like, it was really funny, this person the other day was saying how, they went out for dinner and had steak and chips, and they said, oh, I don't care because tomorrow I'm going to wake up and get back on it, and everyone was cheering them on and going, don't worry, I did that too. And it was just really funny because that's what we all do. But often with other fitness apps or things, you're thinking, oh God, I've really failed and I've done terribly, and you might never come back to it. But I think I like this one because it doesn't matter, like that one piece of cake's never going to harm you. It's just about getting back in, getting involved, and enjoying it. And the live streaming as well. So I kind of ask people to ask me questions, and then I sit in my bedroom, it's very glamorous, and answer them for people. And I think that's really nice, that you really get your questions answered, because that's important. Like, we've all got something that might not be working or something we're wondering, and the live streaming is really, really cool, except for when so many people are writing and I'm trying to read it and sort of squinting. And I've also worked out that my bed is a white background. It's like a white head, and then the writing is in white, so often I can't actually read what people are saying, so I need to get a black background. I think that's the next step.
Is that white? Okay. I thought it was the streaming or like the tethering.
No, it's
a little
just
slow.
Yeah, I need a black background. I need to paint my bed.
Good. So we're going to throw to, is that, oh no, you're still going. I'm sorry, I'm cutting you off.
One last thing. I think it's now that the program is creating a glow squad, as we call people, and we're going to hopefully do a tour around the UK to kind of get more glow girls and glow guys. Just so you know, we do like guys in the app as well. We're not kind of pushing you out. There's more women going for it, or maybe it's more silent men, just like they go in, they do it, but they don't comment. But
they don't talk about it. That's typical.
We've got Alex. Where's he? I saw him before.
Yay.
He's a glow guy, and Rob Glow as well, another
Yes.
glow guy. We've got a few of them in there too.
Good.
Good.
Yay.
So should we do a bit
Let's throw to you guys. Do you guys have questions? We're going to throw to you guys. So I think we've got a mic. So yay, we've got one question.
We're passing around the mic, so go for it. Hello.
Hi, I'm a secret glow guy.
Hey!
An SGG. I like it.
A lot of people are intimidated by getting healthy and getting into a regime because they think it's going to take a massive change in their lives, when in fact just an incremental change on a daily basis could make all the difference. If someone could only carve out an extra 30 minutes of their day in the morning, just get out of bed 30 minutes earlier, what would you recommend they do with that 30 minutes that could change their life?
Ooh.
I think it would be to do only 20 minutes exercise. I don't think they're 40 minutes, the ones that Shona does, but you can just break it down and only do half, and it's still going to be a really good thing. I think meditation as well. I know you probably think, oh, I don't have that time, but even if it's 3 mindful breaths, that's good enough. That's still going to give you that little bit. And then definitely to have breakfast and make that effort just to have it. Even if it's literally pan on, throw the eggs in, bit of shells, doesn't matter. Scramble it together, whack it on that rye bread and munch it down. I think people always skip breakfast, and then they grab coffee and more coffee and more coffee, and then they binge on like sugary things all afternoon. So I'd say like 20 minutes of move, a bit of calming down, and definitely have that breakfast. How about you? What would you do for 30 minutes?
Yeah, I would agree. Definitely no breakfast skipping. I'm a big advocate of breakfast and protein in that breakfast. I'm also really big on the meditation, actually. So every morning I'll start my morning, even if it's at 5 a.m., with like a positive affirmation meditation, which is similar to what all of the meditations are. I think that health really comes from a sense of self-worthiness. And so if people dedicate more time to that sense of self-worthiness, then they'll make more room in their day to do the exercise, if that makes sense. The 20 minutes shouldn't necessarily be like, right, go out and do 50 burpees back to back. It's actually like, right, how can I appreciate myself? Because if I do, I'm going to find that time further down. Yeah, further down the line.
We've both got our little Apple Watches on, and there's this really nice thing in it where it vibrates to stand up, because we sit down a lot. So I think it's also incidental exercise like standing up, or maybe making tea for your team at work, or, you know, climbing up the stairs. Those sorts of things actually are kind of gold, not just the training, it's just that overall movement in the day, I think, that's really good.
Yeah, definitely.
Anyone else got any questions? Great question. Don't be shy. Anything.
Don't be shy. What did Madeleine have for breakfast this morning?
No, don't ask that. It's not a good one.
Questions? Anything?
No?
I can't
I'll ask
see
another
you.
one then.
Perfect.
Yes.
So what about coffee? And should people give it up? Is it good for you? Is it bad for you? What are the alternatives?
Never giving that up.
Yeah, no, our mantra is hydrate before you caffeinate. So get up, have that water in the morning. I think coffee's not a bad thing, it's the way people abuse it. So it often becomes just a portal of energy, and I think you get energy, a much better form of energy, through food and sleep. So I think that coffee can be a pleasure, and life isn't about taking away all the pleasures. So have a good one, and drink it before 12, because anything after that is just going to start to disrupt your sleep cycle, which is then going to make you tired, and it kind of is a vicious cycle. Who likes coffee here?
Yes, the coffee club. Okay, so for those of you that aren't going to give it up, like me, it's all about quality as well. So I'm really, really big on even if you have to spend that extra couple of pounds more, it's worth getting good coffee, and enjoying it, remembering that it's filled with antioxidants. So good quality coffee is filled with antioxidants. It's amazing, and so it is actually good for you. Watching maybe the quality of the milk that you put on in it. Obviously, an espresso is the traditional way to drink a coffee, and so that is generally the healthiest. A long black, we call it long black in Australia. What do you call it? Americano.
Yeah.
Americano. Yep, another option.
Or black coffee. Yeah.
Black coffee. Yep. We got any other questions? We definitely do. Yes.
Hello.
Hi.
Some people think eating healthy is really expensive. Do you think that fits into the app? How do you work this into the app, into your diet?
Well, we've found like people are spending like £30 a week on shopping, which I think is pretty good. So I think it can be really affordable. I think if you're buying things in bulk, you're not choosing the most expensive kind of cuts of meat, or that it can be. I think you just have to be a bit more creative with the sorts of things that you're using. I love spending money on food. Food's like such a pleasure to me. So I'm quite terrible on those sorts of things. But I did make sure that the meal plan was accessible for people, because I don't want people to feel like, oh my God, I've bought all these millions of powders, and that can often happen with healthy foods, is you're buying like moringa and maca and blah, 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 blah. And I kind of left all that out and just stuck with whole foods, with all the shopping that anyone could buy from a supermarket. You were always going to kind of use it, and there weren't going to be any leftovers too.
Yeah, because also broccoli is a superfood, right? Technically, it's got, it's packed full of vitamins and minerals that are so imperative for the body. So this whole concept of the superfood, while it's valuable and there's amazing ingredients in maca and cacao and all those sorts of things, you can get your nutrients from broccoli. Yeah. So why not?
And,
Food doesn't have to
the
be
turmeric
expensive.
milk.
And what?
The morning turmeric milk.
Yes.
It's kind of like some people are loving it. Some people are like, why am I having a curry for breakfast? But turmeric is amazing. It is like the superfood of them all, and something that you can find so easily and buy anywhere. It stains everything. I'm such a messy chef. Honestly, you come in my kitchen and you're just like, really, like, there's just like powders everywhere. And
Yeah.
I say I'm a creative person, but anyway,
Creative mess.
you've got to be careful with the turmeric, that's for sure.
Definitely. But yes, going back to your question, also Maddie's cook once, eat twice. It's definitely, obviously, a lot cheaper, isn't it, as well? And when you're actually, if you put value into your food and into eating healthy, then it tends to not be so expensive. So what you're not spending on alcohol, you can spend on good food. Not that we're anti-alcohol, but it's one of those sorts of things. I feel like I can't say that in England. or if I can't say don't drink alcohol. So yeah.
Yeah, people are not happy about that.
No, just one old-fashioned a night rather than 7. Yeah.
Anyone else?
So overwhelming.
Hi there. Oh,
Hello.
is that? Hi.
Yeah.
I'm just wondering, sometimes when people embark on a sort of healthy eating program, they might overdo it on things that they consider healthy. So, for example, I did it when I started and I went overboard on nuts. And, like, I know you're meant to eat about 5 a day, but I could eat, like, a full packet. So I'm just wondering if you have any advice for people as to what they should do in snacking and certain things which are good for you but can... maybe too much could be bad for you.
Too much, like dates. Dates are so trendy.
Shona's probably a lot better than me at this.
Really? Am I? Yeah. Dates is like my arch nemesis because I'm like, they're still the same as just grabbing a bunch. There's still a sugar content in it. So yeah, those sorts. It's a totally valid question. I am really big on. I feel like you can't overdo vegetables. I feel like you can't overdo greens. I'm always trying to get my clients to eat more greens, and they're so good for you. Madeleine was talking a little bit about cortisol storing as tummy fat. Well, I say, this is a bit of a generalized comment, but eating more greens can often help lean out legs, and women always want leaner legs. And this is because greens there's in cruciferous vegetables, there is a chemical called dindolylmethane, and what that is it acts in a similar way to estrogen, and it can help you detoxify estrogen a little bit better, and estrogen stores tend to be on the quads and the hamstrings. So green vegetables, I'm trying to keep this as short as possible. There's a lot of science to it, obviously, but green vegetables contain that. So the more you eat of those, the better it's going to be. So you can't really over snack on steamed broccoli with a bit of sea salt and olive oil, which is my favorite go-to. You can overdo things like nuts and stuff like that. It's about balancing out your macros, and you've done loads of this with your snacking in there. You've taken out snacking in one section, haven't you?
Yeah, I don't think anyone's got to that week yet. We're just
Secret
waiting
week.
for that. Anyway, yeah, nuts is really difficult. I completely agree with you. I'm someone that will eat the entire 250-gram bag of cashews.
Do you?
Oh yeah, I'm terrible. Anyway, what I've come round to believe that is the right way of doing this is not to have them in the house. So not buy that big bag, or portion size them. So put them into a little container and take that to work, rather than taking the bag, believing that you can control it. Because I think self-control is difficult. Or having it out, like going out to buy your snack and then coming back, or using things like fruit. Which is just one piece that you can have instead. I think you just have to figure out what's right for you that works. And if you really can't control yourself over nuts, and it's definitely difficult, then, don't have it around. Like, you just have to be honest with yourself. I've basically got kind of about sort of 2 kilos of on-bar chocolate delivered to my house, and I have just been eating so much, but I had to give it away to people because I was like, it's just calling me from the cupboards. So, get clean cupboards, don't get those temptations there. And with snacks, so kind of eat something that's just one piece that hopefully doesn't lead on. But I think snacky foods can be, although have that healthy label around them, often you end up having more of them. So try and make, like we do, like the raw balls, and make them and then bring one to work. Or, even try don't snacking. It's kind of interesting when you do that. You often actually are okay with having a bit of a gap between meals. Pleasure.
Hi. Over here.
Right, there you are.
Hello.
I love chocolate. I don't know about anybody else, but I probably wouldn't be able to go the whole 8 weeks without having chocolate. How does your program sort of help curb those cravings? You've kind of answered the question a little bit in what you were just saying, but have you got any particular recipes that I could sort of substitute for chocolate?
Yeah, there's some raw chocolate balls in the program that you have every day, so that's great. But, just getting good quality, so whether that's like on bars really nice, it's sweetened with coconut sugar, or another form of dark chocolate, to have it. I think they do say women crave chocolate, so if your body really needs it, then maybe that's the right thing. So just going for a better quality, and then definitely buying the little bars than the big giant ones. And again, I think that it's fine to have that. You're being very active, you're eating very healthily, and, we all have vices, we all have things that we like, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. So you can have your cake and eat it too.
Definitely. I love chocolate. I don't have a good answer for you because I love eating chocolate. I think sometimes you can... If you really feel like it's quite a strong chocolate addiction, then you can try, every time you get that craving, shift the neurological pathway by instead having a drink of water instead, and just seeing if maybe you're thirsty, maybe you're lacking in magnesium, which is another common sort of hypothesis around it. Just trying to have something else first, and then just giving yourself that space between the thought process and the chocolate itself, and seeing if that works. But yeah, good quality chocolate's another one, isn't it? Just keeping it around rather than bad quality. Yeah.
Firstly, I just want to say on the chocolate thing, on-bar choco milk I can't have dairy, so having that, it's literally like milk chocolate, and it tastes amazing, and you don't feel guilty. And you can have it will last you have one bite, and it will last you 3-4 times, and it will satisfy that craving. Honestly, it will. And just a question for you, what's your favourite recipe of all the ones? I've got your book and your app and everything. I'm a little bit obsessed, but what's your favourite?
Ooh, that's a really good question. I think for me, it's the slow roast lamb shanks in the book. And people always like, you eat meat? Oh my God. But I just, slow roast meat, I love it. It's so good. And, I don't know if anyone's it's right at the end of the app. So I hope no one's jumped ahead, but also the chocolate brownies at the end of the app. It's definitely
We've
worth
got the ultimate
waiting.
brownie recipe from your website already, ready for the weekend.
Perfect. How about you, Shona? What's your favourite?
Okay, so I'm going to confess and say that I'm one of the worst cooks ever. I'm so terrible. Thanks for laughing. Yeah, I'm really terrible. I get really nervous. I don't know what happens, but I seem to get into the kitchen and I just feel really overwhelmed and a little bit scared, and I can't channel any of my yoga or anything. So I love, like I said, my steamed broccoli. I know that, oh God, that sounds so boring and awful. I love going out and eating food and trying to find good foods to eat out and be able to. And London's really big with that. I mean, there's really good places around, and so I do tend to eat out quite a bit.
But you're good as well. You make some good smoothies.
Yeah, smoothies. There we go. Liquid.
She's got an amazing boyfriend who's a very good chef.
So he's really good.
She's spoiled.
I'm better at making smoothies, though. You're out there, Richard. I'm better at smoothies. So I tend to eat. Because I'm eating on the go a lot as well. It's sort of always about trying to get yummy ingredients into a cup and being able to carry it and put a lid on it and race in between sessions. So yeah, I love anything that's smoothie with cacao. Question?
Oh. Hello.
Hi there.
Hello.
I'm about to qualify as a personal trainer. I've got my final exams this week, the level 3, so learning all about muscles, origins and insertion. Shona, you probably know all about those.
Yes.
What tips have you got for someone who's new to the fitness industry?
Okay, new to the fitness industry. And so in what way? In getting out there as a trainer?
Yeah, finding clients, yeah. And
Finding clients.
Yeah, so I'll get my level 3 qualification this weekend, providing I pass my exams. You don't want to sit my exam for me, do you?
Pardon? Tips
You don't want to sit my exam for me, do you?
I don't know if that would be a good idea. I'd go over the top with it. It's really funny because my business started when I was in Australia. So I learned a lot over there. And I think it was a good thing because it's such a saturated market. Has anyone been to Australia here? Yay. Yeah, okay, amazing. Not many, though. Right, it is far away. But because it's such a hot place, obviously there's people there's even your everyday Joe Blow knows about carbs, knows about, proteins, everything, like really everything. So it's hard to impress and I guess to a degree sell to someone that already knows at least the same level as you. So it was a good place to sort of start. I guess in terms of getting clients, it really depends on what avenue you want to go down. If you come into the business with a really good heart, wanting to genuinely help people, which I wish I could say that everyone did, and I'm not going to neg it out, but you need to go in with a good heart and really want to help people. People will respond to that and feel it. I can put this out to all of you that I'm sure that you can feel when you're being sold to, as opposed to when you feel like, wow, this person genuinely cares about what I have to say. And so I think that's without boring everyone else, I think that would probably be the best tip, is like try and stick to your heart. Stay true to the reason you actually started, which was hopefully to help people.
I'm not a personal trainer at all. I think social media is definitely important. I think people are interacting on their phones, so giving people some fitness tips or just quick takeaway ideas, maybe on Twitter or Instagram. I think people really appreciate that. It takes up a lot of time.
Yeah.
But
it does.
I think it's definitely like a powerful way of connecting with people that you might never have met or have heard of you. So I think that's definitely a way of getting out there.
They want access to you before, yeah. So in when I moved to London, it really all came through Instagram. But when I was in Australia, I worked in a gym. I worked in Fitness First, and it was just about having a point of difference and a niche and something that you can offer that not every other trainer is offering. It's a super popular industry now. So trying to keep your focus on what you particularly do that's different. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, and good luck.
Yeah.
You won't need it. Any other questions?
Hello.
Hi.
I do quite a lot of long distance running and quite a lot of cardio based exercise. And for years you're kind of programmed into the night before a race you need to eat big pasta dishes, quite starchy foods which can actually make you feel a bit heavy. So I wondered what kind of alternatives you could have to still give you that energy for kind of a prolonged period of time. But
yep. Is this pre a long distance run?
Yeah.
Okay, so do you have, yeah? My mum's in the audience at the front. She's a marathon runner. I'm just going to give her a little plug. Yay, Mum. So we've talked about this loads. Mum's done probably more research than I have on it. I had this question actually as well on the weekend about a cyclist. So he wanted to go long distance. So there's lots of different schools of thoughts. The issue I have with a huge big carb load is serotonin levels being really increased, and serotonin is that feel-good thing, which is why we love having our carbs, but it also makes us feel quite sleepy, so it stimulates that sleep response. So I'm not really a big fan of having a huge carb load before you do something where you're going to need to exert a lot of energy. In saying that, you do need them. So I often say that it's not about a carb load, it's about a prolonged carbohydrate increase, so slowly introducing it to the body, maybe a slight difference rather than, I've got Mum in the audience going, yep. Thanks, Mom. So it is about a slow introduce, not so if you know that you're going to do a marathon, like in the summertime. I don't think you do marathons in the summertime, but in May or June or something like that, you'd want to start slowly increasing that macro breakdown to lean towards carbohydrates and keeping the carbs healthy as well, not like I get to have 5 donuts today because I'm carb loading. Yeah. Does that help? Yep. Yay. Do you want to say anything else? Sweet potato, quinoa. Just yell out those
That's
words.
all I say. Good. Does anyone else have any other questions? No? Who wants to do a selfie in the app? Yeah? Are people up for it? Well, we might try and put the lights on so we can take like a picture and you guys can be
See how
in
it
the app
works.
if you want to. I'm going to see how I can do this. And then we're going to be hanging around as well. If anyone has like, oh, is everyone awake?
Oh.
And we're going to be hanging around if anyone wants to say hello
Like when
as
the
well.
pub closes.
Right, let me do this. New post. Add media. Use camera.
Yep. Ooh. Oh, wow. Yay.
Ooh.
Right.
Right, now I'm blocking everyone with. I've got a really big head. I do. I never fit hats. Okay, Shona, you got to get
Can
in
I
this one.
squeeze? Why am I not? Oh, there we are.
Right, there we go. I'm
Good.
going to get down low.
Okay. Wait,
Get
I
down
need
low.
to. That's a good idea.
Okay, everyone put their hands in the air. Ready?
Oh,
Say
go like this. Yay.
Glenn!
Chloe wouldn't be a very
Thank
good
you,
photo,
guys. I think I need to work on that. It was not necessarily my best
hideous.
picture.
Jesus. Oh, wow.
Anyway, thank you. Thank you guys so much all for coming. I hope you enjoyed it and it gave you a better insight into the app. Thank you so much. Apple, you guys have been amazing and so supportive to everything that we do. And yeah, thank you so much for coming on this lovely Thursday night. Big round of applause to you guys.